Happy New Year, everyone. With it being the new year, a whole lot of people are trying dietary modifications to lose weight, get in shape, get more muscle, some stuff like that. And a lot of people I know are trying keto for the first time, the keto diet, the super high fat, moderate to low protein, and very, very low carb diet. So I want to share my thoughts, my experiences, and my research on keto and whether it's an appropriate diet. So the take-home message is, if you want to skip all the other stuff, it's not a good or a bad diet. It's a good or a diet for some people, and it's a bad diet for other people. You need to test it, and there's specific ways in which you can test it, and I'm going to share it with you. Let me start with a story, though. So a couple of years ago, I tried keto. I tried keto for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to see if it would reduce inflammation in my body. Inflammation is a real thing. Inflammation is one of the things that makes your joints ache after you've had a lot of injuries, and I've had more than my share of injuries. Number two, I wanted to see if I could switch over to a fat-dominant diet for outdoor adventures, for long canoe trips and stuff like that. And that's because fat contains twice the number of calories per gram than that compared to carbohydrates, meaning that if I could take the same amount of calories, but it would have half the weight, that'd be really advantageous. So switching over to a fat-dominant diet would have been a big game changer for the outdoor stuff. So I did try it. I did something correct, though. First, before trying it, I went to my doctor, and I told my doctor that I was going to try keto, and his reaction was like, oh my God, please don't do it. So he's that kind of doctor. But he's a good doctor. I was like, no, I'm going to try it. Here's why I'm going to try it. He's like, okay, at least let's do some blood work before and after. And that was a really good idea because you need to know what your baseline is before you get started. So he gave me two requisitions for blood work, and it's very simple. You go to a lab, they take like one syringe of blood and they send it off. The next day you get your baseline set of blood lipid measurements. So that tests your LDL, your HDL, your triglycerides, your total cholesterol, and the ratios between those things, all of which means something. And then I tried hardcore keto for a month. And we're talking pretty hardcore. We're talking cutting my carbs almost to nothing. We're talking jacking my fat intake through the roof. A typical breakfast was a shake with like a can of coconut milk and half a container of whipping cream blended together with some blueberries for flavor. That's pretty hardcore. It's just a giant fat bomb. And then you don't want to just pound yourself with protein because your body can take protein and turn it into sugar. It's called the process there is gluconeogenesis. So if you take too much protein, you can screw up keto, right? Keto isn't just steak after steak after chicken breast after chicken breast. That's high protein. That's different from keto. And I was testing daily, with the little pee sticks that you pee on. And if you're in ketosis, they turn various shades of purple. And after a couple of days, I was truly in ketosis, right? There's no doubt that I was doing the keto diet properly. My body had switched over to metabolizing fat and getting my energy through ketones rather than glucose, which is fantastic. That's the goal of keto. Never really felt that good that month. I didn't have a boost in energy. Some people report a giant boost in energy, like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do with all the energy I had. Wasn't me. Well, whatever. I didn't feel terrible. I didn't feel great. Kind of muddled on through. And after a month, I went and got the second blood work, right? Figure a month is enough time to allow your system to change over and adapt. And I went on the one morning, call it a Thursday, had it in the blood. And then on Friday morning, I checked the blood online. I checked the results online. Almost as I was checking the results, my doctor called personally. This is pre-pandemic, so doctors didn't really call you. They would call, or their receptionist would call you and tell you to come in so you could have the 3-minute conversation with your doctor, because that's how they can bill better. No, this was a doctor actually calling me. Hello, Stephan, it's your doctor. Stop this diet. It's killing you. And I was like, yep, I've just looked at the results and it is killing me. Every single number and ratio that indicates your cardiovascular health had gone squirrely. My LDL had gone through the roof, supposed to go down. My HDL had collapsed. The ratio of the LDL to HDL had gone the wrong way. My triglycerides had gone through the roof. All of the measures were like, I'm a walking heart attack or stroke, right? I was just one giant fat bomb. This doesn't happen to everyone. Lots of people report that when they go on keto, all of these blood lipid measurements get better. So why did mine go into the crapper, and why did those people get better? The answer is biochemical individuality. Your body's not the same as my body. Your body can handle different levels of sleep than mine can. Your body can handle different levels of exercise than mine can. You might be more cold resistant. I might be more heat resistant. You might be able to metabolize fat correctly, and my fat metabolism might be completely screwed up. And looking into it a little bit deeper, it turns out that about 25% of people metabolize fat really poorly. And I'm one of them. It's a genetic thing. You can screw up keto in a number of ways. You can screw up keto by, just jacking your fat through the roof, but sticking by, well, donuts have lots of fat. I'll eat lots of donuts and I'll put butter on my donuts. That would be screwing it up because you're still eating too many carbs. But assuming you're doing keto properly, assuming you stick with it for long enough to make the transition in ketosis and get through the whole keto flu period, you can still screw it up by having the wrong genetics. And I have the wrong genetics, and about 25% of people have the wrong genetics. So, request 1. If you go on keto, get your blood lipid profile measured before. It's not an expensive test. Doctors write scripts for this all the time. It's one of the most common tests for doctors to do to keep track of their patients. Blood lipid profile. Secondly, do it again after being on the diet for, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, long enough for your body to adapt. And then see whether your blood lipids went in the correct direction. If you already are on your keto diet of 2021, it's too late, and it's too late to get the initial blood work done, at least do the secondary blood work. Before you abandon keto because you don't feel good, because of whatever, because it's too difficult socially, and it is difficult socially, before you abandon keto, go and get that blood work done, because it'll be really interesting information for the next time. If their blood lipid profile after a month is just horrendous, like mine was, then you're never going to go on it again. If your blood lipid profile is pretty good, but you had to quit for other reasons, I don't know, your wife didn't want to cook like that anymore, well, then after you get divorced, then you can start eating your avocado, parmesan, cauliflower crisp recipes all the time. If you're living in a part of the world where it's difficult to eat keto, maybe end up moving to Southern California in the future, and every restaurant will serve avocado, parmesan, cauliflower crisps, and it'll be really easy to continue this diet, and you'll have the information. So, get tested first, then do it for real, then get tested again. If you're already on it, make sure to get tested, and the numbers will lead the way, right? You will be able to make an informed decision. You can't do this by feeling. I mean, if it totally doesn't work for you, you might have that whole keto flu thing, but just like you can't feel if you have high blood pressure, you probably can't feel if you have high blood sugar. You probably can't feel if you have high cholesterol or high LDL or low HDL. You don't feel it until you have a stroke, have a heart attack, blow a gasket. So get those numbers and give that a try. All right, guys, peace out.